Okay, cool. If we're gonna start this shit off, we need to start this shit off with some music, man, because we can't just start off on a bang. You gotta really just kind of get some stuff hyped up and shit. And yeah, got too much of that, and I need to adjust the lighting real quick because the lighting is too fixated up close, and it needs to be adjusted. All right, 6 people watching. Holy shit! All right, you know what? We're gonna get things started up. You know, there's 2 things I want to. There's 2 songs I want to play real quick, because I got some sad news. You know, from Metallica themselves. Before we get off into this whole Onision stuff, I just want to play at least 2 songs. One from Hush and one from Metallica, "Two Lives to Die." Cliff Burton's father, Ray Burton, who passed away. You know, it's a sad thing going on, and I really want to kind of take this time to just play some 2 songs and just kind of get this kind of like wrapped up and, you know, kind of get something going at least, because, you know, I don't want to start off boring. Hello, Rhythm, how you doing, man? What's up, man? What's up, Christian Peck? Glad you guys are here. So we're going to start off some music, and we're going to try to get this rolling here, because I actually have a list of shit that I want to go over before we go over the said incident of what occurred to this. And before I even go any further, I will even say to every single channel out there, and yes, this even applies to Mike and Actor too, I will say that, feel free to fucking do a video. I don't care. Feel free to do a video on Onision. I'm not going to freak out. You know what? Go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I think, honestly, this one fucking time, I'm going to let Mike, and I'm just going to say, hey, Mike and Actor, you know, have your go. Go right ahead. But anyways, I'm good. Everything's good with me. So first, let's start off with some hell yeah here. Let's get some music going. I'm not monetized on this video anyway, because, again, I don't want to be making videos monetizing off of talking about somebody's death or talking about a serious incident. This is a complete serious thing, and I don't want to make any money off that. But let's start off. Easy, buddy. Come on, buddy. Yes, I agree. Issue needs to come to light. I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up during the Jason era Metallica. Jason Newsted, hell yeah, brother. Now that Mike has stopped the fake Greg reacts, he's calmed down a bit, which is nice at least. Yeah, and I guess I said to him last year that I don't have any ill feelings towards him anymore, despite my feelings that I feel like he's pushing that envelope. But you know what? Again, this one time, I'm not going to freak out. Go right ahead. Yeah, man. Hell where I was raised, hell is where I'm from, and this hell is where I stay. To watch the misery. So before we kind of like delve in, like, how are you guys doing? Like, I know I've been absent for a little while, but I want to know how you guys have been. How's you guys' New Year's, and how are we doing? I haven't started back on the story yet. We'll catch back up on that later if we have time today. But I really want to know how you guys are doing, if you guys are all right, and if we are just, we're having, you know, we're having good days at least. I just want to know that. Why do you feel like shit, Alyssa? What's up? My dog is very entertained. He whoops a thrash monkey. He's clearly a fan. He's probably whooping at the cat. Look. Well, I hope you're feeling better, Alyssa. You know, depression is a very hard thing. I don't blame you. Reflecting on the worst era of Guns N' Roses. Okay. And I also have some things I will share with you guys. I actually have a screenshot that I will share that's going to come into plain notice when I read off the memoir here, which is according to the investigation at hand regarding that incident of the kid who fell out the window. I actually have a day. After this song, we'll get into the topic, and then we'll play "Till It Is to Die" at the very end. That way, we can actually end off on a music note. Also, rest in peace, Vinnie Paul. You know, the strange thing is that the night I actually learned about Ray Burton passing away, I had a dream about Ray Burton last night. Like, I gave him I gave him two of these fist pumps and all that. Told him how much of a great dad he was, and then I find out the day later when I wake up and go to work, I found out that he passed away, and I was like, what the fuck? Because it's sad, but at the same time, it's like, whew. Chinese democracy was a disappointment for me. Hey, Todd, what's going on, man? Professor Winter, hey, what's going on? Come on, Stevie's vid summarizes my feelings on it. He made himself look more incriminating by deciding to film. Again, why would Greg film his child like that? Why would he film his child possibly covered in blood or whatnot, or suffering severe cases of trauma, possibly the head? I think it's more like a concussion or whatnot. I don't know. But, all right. Wheezy, buddy. I love you, buddy, but I gotta talk to the people. I gotta have some serious time here. I love you, buddy. Play with Monkey, though. I gotta talk here. So, ladies and gentlemen, it came to my attention as soon as when I got off work that there was an incident that occurred that was also brought to my attention by multiple sources, one of them being Stevie. Although Stevie wasn't really being the direct source, he made it more of the video in general. And it was more pretty much brought to my attention by a person named Repzilla. Repzilla also pretty much brought it in general. So did Repsion. So Stevie, Repsion, and Repzilla pretty much brought this situation to my attention, and I decided to look into it. And holy fucking hell. And the cats are having fun down there. Hey, behave. Where's my scotch? By any chance, I have a flask of scotch because I feel like I'm going to need that to get to this. But anyway, so before we get into the statement here, the statement that I have shown on here that was written, pretty much Stevie read the file itself, pretty much the investigation file, which I will read off of this. But before we read that, I'm going to go over a list. Now, there may not be everything on this list everything that Onision himself has been taken in trouble for. But I also want to take this time to say that I know I don't want to be doing any more videos on this. I apologize to those, but this is the exception I did say that I would make because this is almost close to the part of murder. Now, I'm not saying murder is the thing here, but this is close to the fucked up extreme parts towards murder. It's the closest thing you can get, and we pretty much almost gotten to that point. Let's read off a few things here that we've seen over the years before we get into this situation. And this is not in chronological order, ladies and gentlemen, but let's kind of like delve into this. I mean, it's negligence, so, I mean, hey, behave yourself. There you go. All right, so let's read off here. So, starting from the top, films his ex-wife having a seizure, threatens suicide to get out of paying money to his ex-wife, dating girls barely under the age of 18 or barely of the age of 18, makes militant vegan videos, ran a forum of judging underage girls' bodies, and also refused to move the videos from a person because they wanted to have the videos removed and he refused. Called cops on Chris Hansen for simply knocking on his door. Hey! No fighting. No fighting. Not in my room. Sorry. Let's see. Called cops on Chris Hansen for simply knocking on his door or pretty much hanging outside of the property, which there was no law that was violated there. And I'm not saying that Chris Hansen exactly Chris Hansen is entirely, innocent on that point, but this is more about Greg at this point, so I'm not going to delve into that. mocked Carrie Fisher when she passed away. There were certain tweets that he made, and that's one that really got to me, and it really pissed me off because Carrie Fisher was one of the few who I actually had a crush on when I was a kid. Let's see. He also manipulated Billy psychologically with the tramp stamp, the dungeon theme, and the shaved hair and green hair as a manipulation tactic to pretty much persuade her to get this relationship in a trusting manner. He constantly harassed Ayala, constantly to the point where she almost had to file an injunction against him. Groomed Sarah until she was 18, and Kai was a part of that too, so I'm not leaving Kai out of the mix on that one, or Laney. He also doxed Billy, which that also cost him his Patreon, and now eventually his Twitch got banned too, which hallelujah. Killed a turtle inside of a plastic bin. He also manipulated Stevie into transphobia on YouNow, which that was complete bullshit. That he decided to use that tactic. Let's see. He chose. Okay, these are the two right here that I feel like I got screwed over on that involved me in this case. He chose two particular winners in this whole debate situation, which the whole debates. He chose a woman and he chose a child, and specifically he chose that woman and he chose that child because he knew these were two people that he could easily manipulate around in terms of debating him. He blamed Repsion for creating the petition when obviously it was created by yours truly. Which again, this isn't about me. He destroyed wetlands, pretty much costing over about hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. He blames TurboTax for his false income tax deductions, which how do you fuck that one up? Now, this one I did forget to read. He lashed out on a lawyer. Which pretty much advised him to take down videos that were supposed to be taken down because they did not want them up there anymore. And Greg refused to do that. And he lashed out on him. Now, if you want to go back and find it, like I think Repsion or Repzilla probably has the audio footage to that. If you want to go back and look over that, feel free to do so. But he lashed out on a lawyer for videos that should have been taken down. When you respect somebody's privacy, you respect somebody's privacy. That bottom line to it. It does not even matter. But he lashed out on a lawyer because he felt like he wasn't even letting the lawyer talk. Anyways. So past the TurboTax. Now on Kai's video, he also verbally abused his children in Kai's video. That whole Taco Bell thing about take some responsibility. Way back long ago, he mocked suicide victims in the past or people who cut themselves. He blamed the abuse of one of his viewers that told him about his mother abusing him, and he blamed that abuse on the victim. He blamed it on him. Files hundreds of copyright claims against his criticizers. He made videos on people's weight, the I'm so fat video. He abused Shiloh verbally, psychologically, and physically because there was also new footage of him throwing stuff at Shiloh when she was wearing the makeup and telling people, or telling her for that matter, that, nothing you do on YouTube can get on there unless it goes through me, in his words. Apart from that, because he throws objects at her, he also not extorted. He exerted a polyamorous relationship on Laney and Billy a few years back. Also tried seducing his wife's, or ex-wife at the time, his ex-wife's little sister, while they were pretty much in that particular form of relationship. That's true. That was another one right there. He also disrespected the military, and he also mocked 9/11. Which, what was he kicked out of the military for? Was it because he refused to kill a rabbit or something? Was that the particular reason? And then he took all of his clothes off. Hey, Lemmy, nice to see you. Let's see. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, so that may not be everything on the list here, but that's pretty much everything that I could remember. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about every single one of these situations. Now, the answer may be obvious, but I want you guys to take a moment to think about these things. What do all of these situations have in common, besides involving Greg, or some of these situations involving Kai or Laney? But what do all of these situations have in common? Let's see. Manchester bombing. Wow. But so these situations are basically a primary reflection of Greg himself. So basically, what all these situations have in common is the fact that Greg himself does not take the accountability for any of it. He does not take accountability for every single situation. Now, we're talking all the way back to possibly 2009 here, and we're at 2020. We're talking 11 years. 11 years of controversial shit that this person could not own his own shit up to. And I know it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's completely redundant of me to say this, and I know it's tiring. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I get it too. It's tiring for me too. But now a new situation occurs, and it becomes more frustrating. It's even more than frustrating. It's a completely serious, almost heart-inducing anxiety attack. Almost enough to give your parents heart attacks. Now, I have some things set up right here because I've been saving up for this moment right here. I'm going to read off to you guys. Stevie read it off on his video, so now I'm going to read it off because we are actually going to also look at a photo, too, of Greg's house. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, there's no address posted on there. I don't believe in doxing, but you are going to see something. I'm going to take the webcam, and you're going to see the image of what I'm going to show. But first, before I do that, I have to read off the police or the investigation statement, and then there's two screenshots that I want to read because apparently it was told that the situation that occurred during that investigation, there were posts that Greg made, which was 4 days after the situation. So bear that in mind. All right. So let me read off. I assisted Detective Moss at Mary Bridge as she interviewed Kai and James, or Lainey and Greg. Sue me, by the way. See her supplemental report for more information. There was no evidence collected. There is nothing further. Blech. On 9/12/19, which was 5 days before my birthday, by the way. So this is basically in September. So on 9/12/19 at approximately 19:25 hours, I received a phone call from Deputy Growett regarding an incident that occurred at Blackout. Deputy Growett explained Onision or Greg called 911 and reported that his 2-year-old daughter, Blackout, had fallen out of a second-story window by pushing the screen out. Deputy Growett said that he had been out of the residence before to assist Child Protective Services in checking children due to concerns that Greg, I'm going to say his name Greg because fuck you, Greg, that Greg ran a YouTube channel with content about child molestation. Deputy Growett said that Blackout was being transported to Mary Bridge via ambulance. I met Deputy Growett at Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. Blackout had been brought into CT scan immediately upon her arrival. I spoke to Lieutenant Johnson, number 44 of medic unit number 51, Gig Harbor. Lieutenant Johnson said that his medic unit transported Blackout to the hospital. Lieutenant Johnson said that the hold on, I can't even read that. Said that that Blackout was on cement driveway directly underneath an open window, laying on her side. He said that there was a window screen, particularly underneath Blank, which was broken in the corner, or Blackout, sorry. Lieutenant Johnson said that he had that the fall was not witnessed, and he had told Lainey or Kai was in the kitchen making dinner, and James was in the garage. Lieutenant Johnson said that James had heard tapping on the outside of the garage, and he went to investigate when he saw that Blank had fallen. Let me pause this real quick. You're telling me, I'm not talking about the investigator. I'm talking directly to Greg. You're telling me you heard a blackout. You heard your daughter, which I would just refer to as Blackout. You heard Blackout tapping on the garage door. But you didn't hear screams, you didn't hear cries, you didn't hear anything? You didn't hear a thud falling down? Ladies and gentlemen, let me refer to a situation that happened to me when I was in pre-K. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in pre-K, you know there's going to also be, a school, for example. Now, the school that I was at was not 2 stories or anything. This was a playground I was on. And on this playground, it may not have been 2 stories, but it was still technically about like a semi bit of a height above kind of like what a 1-story would be. A 1-story is pretty high, but pretty much like a kindergarten playground. One of these jungle gyms that they have. It was kind of like almost a tower. It's like slightly towards that area of a 1-story house. And down below was wood chips. Now, I myself, as a little kid, okay, I was about, what, 4 or 5 years old at the time. I was pretty short. Taking along, I was on top of this building. And guess what happened to me? Me being a little dumb because I was a little kid, I fell off. I landed on my face on wood chips. Being that high, I fell off of that, landed on my face, and ended up getting bloody all over with wood chips. I was screaming and crying, and people noticed. There were people inside of the building that heard me cry and scream. Now, I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to make this about me, but I'm trying to make a point here. I was covered in blood. I was covered in wood chips. I was screaming and crying, and people inside the building could hear me. And I wasn't even tapping on anything. I was away from the building. People could hear me. So, Greg, let me point to this. Now, if it was a 2-year-old, I could understand maybe in this sense that if the kid fell out and severely hit themselves and possibly died. But how did you not hear that? How would you not hear your own child falling out of a fucking window? Again, like a situation that I myself have been occurred in before when I fell off a damn jungle gym and landed face first into some wood chips about yay fucking high. You're going to tell me you didn't hear your own child fall out of a window and hit the paveway or possibly hear any screams? I mean, your child is still alive. What the fucking do? 20 feet. 20 fucking feet. And they were on their side. Their side, by the way. If this was the case of an impact to the head on the concrete, I'm pretty sure that child would have been dead. Wasn't bloody because it was internal. Okay, so it was an internal damage. Still, when you have things like that, you should be able to notice. And by the way, why the... I'm just trying to carefully grasp my anger here because I got to continue reading off because he's in the garage, she's making dinner, her other child's watching TV. Why did they leave the child upstairs to begin with? Is there something I missed? Okay, so I spoke privately with Kai. Kai agreed to be in the audio recording with our conversation. We got interrupted during our conversation by medical staff. So my conversation with Kai is documented in 2 separate recordings. The following is a summary of our conversation. The full details, please refer to the audio recording, which will be booked into evidence with PCSD main property room. Kai said that when she went to make dinner, she put blank in her room to watch TV. Oh, okay, in her room to watch TV. Kai said that the window was closed and that the blank bedroom door was in that blank. What? Sorry, that sentence didn't make any sense. Blank bedroom door was open. Kai said that her 5-year-old son, blank, was in the living room watching a different TV show, which is why she put blank in her bedroom. How old was the kid, too? She described blank bed as a twin bed. She said that she was not sure how blank could have gotten up to the window. She said she believed that the headboard to the bed and the window did not overlap, so it didn't make sense to her that blank could have climbed onto the window from the headboard. Kai said that she did not blank had fallen until James ran upstairs, or Greg ran upstairs and then to the front door. She said James yelled for her to call an ambulance, which she came outside and saw that blank had fallen. Kai said that she dialed 911 but gave the phone to James, and she waited for blank until the ambulance had gotten there. Kai described blank as very active and said in the past that she climbed and stood on top of tables in the home. I spoke privately with James. James agreed to be in the audio recording during our conversation. The following is a summary of my conversation with James. Full details, please refer to the audio recording, which will be booked in evidence, PCSD, main property room. James said that he was in the garage on his computer. He explained he works from home. James said he heard what sounded like a deep voice and tapping on the exterior of the garage. James said he thought it was Blank who was outside. James said Blank was not supposed to be outside, so he went upstairs to go. He went upstairs so he could go outside while Blank was out there. Wait a minute. James said Blank was not supposed to be outside, so he went upstairs so he could go outside to see why Blank was out there. James said when he got part of the way up to the front door and saw Blank laying on the driveway near the garage, he said he yelled for Kai to call an ambulance and then spoke to 911 on the phone. James said that he had been waiting for the ambulance. He took a video showing the window down to the cement Blank was laying. I asked James why he took the video. James said he wanted to be able to show the doctor exactly where she had fallen and expressed the concern that she had hit the landscaping rocks, which were right next to the driveway. Greg, you are a fucking idiot. You don't need to show evidence. You don't need to show a video. You don't need to. All you had to do was just explain to the doctor something's fucking happened. Are you this fucking inept? Holy fucking shit. So you had to go and do this. You had to go and like just point out the fucking window or go outside and point out the window right out there as an example, just to show doctors exactly, oh, that's basically what happened. No. I have never seen a medical case of anyone. Sorry, it's blurred. I have never seen anyone with a medical case having to actually show video evidence, well, quote unquote video evidence. That's how a situation occurred. That's like say, hey, I do all the fucking work around here. I do all the dishes, and I show photos of me doing the dishes. Does that necessarily mean that I'm doing all the fucking work around the house? No. Me taking photos of that doesn't work. So in that analogy, just because you record something like that doesn't automatically prove your case. Holy fuck. Oh. He thinks the 5-year-old was outside. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where was I? Let's see. Okay. He also said that he also said that he thought about needing to show the police what happened and spoke about an incident in 2011 when a friend threatened to kill herself and made it look like he was responsible. So he took a video of himself calling 911. Why did you feel the need to include that? If there was something... Wait a minute. 2011, and this is 2020. If the fucking window was like this from 2011, why didn't the fuck did you get it fixed? Oh my gosh. Tell me I'm fucking reading this wrong. Tell me I'm reading this wrong. I'm going to read it again. Where was it? Okay. He had said that he thought about needing to show the police what had happened and spoke about an incident in 2011 when a friend threatened to kill herself and made it look like he was responsible. So he took a video of himself calling 911 so he could show the police he was not responsible. James's explanation for why he took a video seemed a bit strange to me. Yeah, that's beyond strange. Considering the fact that if the window was like this, I'm not saying that the window was opened for all those years, but if the window was not fixed since 2011, so that window hasn't been fixed in what, 9 years, apart from him having a shitty ass environment of things on his floor outside? It's what, it's supposed to be like a doggy door for children to fall out of a fucking window? Let's see. James's explanation for why he made the video seems strange to me. James said that blank was an active child and said that in the past she had climbed up and stood on tables. And he said that she has also stood on the window sills in their front room, so they make sure to keep the windows closed and locked. How old is this child again? How old? Okay, just because the statement here didn't actually particularly made a complete sensible area right here, because they just said that a similar incident had occurred, and they just didn't say a similar incident at a different location was sort of similar. If they would have pointed that in, then I'm sorry, I got fucking pissed because that part of the information didn't really stick out as clear as it was supposed to be. All it said that James said that a similar incident had taken place in 2011, and it didn't say anything about a location change up. If it would have said at a different address that a similar address had been taking place, then yes, this would have been a completely different area. Wow. So again, I think that could have been addressed a little bit more clearly on the note. So that could have been at least said a little bit differently on clear context. So to be honest, whew. But it still doesn't explain why he took the damn video, though. Really? That's fucked up. Okay, James showed me that he had taken the blank. Blank. It was a 1 second video which he showed blank on the ground. He actually took the fucking video. Fucking damn it. On the ground with Kai next to her, and then panned up to show the open window. I took a video of James's phone playing the video, and will copy it to a DVD and book it into the evidence in the PCSD main property room. I spoke with Dr. Manji. He said that blank had multiple skull fractures. He said that she had subgaleal hematoma. He said that she had small subdermal hepatomas, and he said that there was some bleeding and bruising in her brain. But it was not enough to require immediate surgery. I asked him if there were injuries that were life-threatening, and he explained at this point that they weren't, but due to the nature of the injuries, blank would need to be carefully monitored because the situation could quickly change and the injuries could become more life-threatening. He explained the skull fracture on the right side of her head was depressed and pushing into her brain. Dr. Manji said that the injuries were consistent with the fall from the second-story window. Deputy Groat told me that James showed him. Hold on. James Groat told me that James showed him. First of all, this sentence is poorly written. Showed him Ring doorbell video. Showed him a video of a Ring doorbell video. That whoever made this statement did not make the sentence completely clear, by the way. So again, that's the same thing with that whole thing about the 2011 situation. They didn't put the clear context on here, and then the sentence on here was not. This sentence is not completely punctual and fluent right there. So James handed me his phone and showed me the videos. The Ring video did not capture blank fall. It pointed to the opposite direction, but it did show when James came outside and saw blank on the ground. James walks out on the porch and looks in the direction of the garage. James runs over towards her and screams for Kai to call an ambulance. Kai comes out of the porch and screams and then runs over blank. James sent me 3 videos which capture James going into the house to get a towel and talking on the phone with 911. James emailed me copies of the videos. I will burn them onto the same DVD as the videos from James's phone. I asked Kai and James if I could go over to their home and take some photographs. They both agreed. I explained that they did not have to allow me to go into the home to take pictures, and that they could change their minds and tell me to stop. I gave James my work cell phone number and told him to call me if they did not want me to take pictures. Kai asked me to check to make sure that the stove was off, and also if I could let their dogs in from the back porch. James provided me with the code to get into the door. The door had a key lock pad. Let's see. I go vote. Okay. Yeah, I started early because it's perfect timing. There was like literally nobody home, so I had to. There's no porch on the front of the house. Well, there's a porch in the back part of their house. I think that's what they're referring to, because in the statement here it said that the dogs were let in from the back. Yeah, they have a back porch. So the porch is on the back side of their house. So there's that part. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to actually give a moment to get this camera. I want you guys to take a look at this. Let me just make sure this is working real quick. So this is the window right here. This is it. There's the rocky pave right there, and this is the driveway. And this is on Twitter. There's no address on here, so we're not doing any of that docking shit, but this is Exhibit A. Yeah. So you guys take a moment to think about that. That was exactly my thought. How is this child not dead? And I'm not that's not being disrespectful to the child. I'm just saying, from a fall like that, how is the child not dead? That is concrete. And this house is also, in comparison, by the way, when I was about a little kid, this house, not this house, I'm sorry, the playground that I actually was on when I actually fell off was nowhere near as high as this, and I still came out like fucking bloody. Now, it may not have been internally, it may not have been severe, but it was still pretty fucking high. This house is higher. This house is higher than that jungle gym set, and that kid survived. That's fucking miraculous. Okay, and it even gets fucking worse too, by the way, because I was also I was sent some screenshots that was sent on September 19th, which was 7 days after the incident. Or it was 7 days after the incident. I could be wrong. Actually, let me read this real quick, because this is a tweet from somebody else. So they actually told me, or not, they didn't tell me. They told this. They told these two other people in the report. Not in the report, the tweet. I'm sorry. The police report says that that he thought the knocking was his son outside at first, right? And then he went upstairs to check because his son wasn't allowed outside. But why would he go upstairs? Wouldn't he just open the garage and yell at him or something? Sounds like he's making up a reason for why he was going up and down the stairs in case Kai heard him and mentioned it to the police. Sounds like something, right? Okay, well, here's a tweet that was made on September 19th. So if I go back to the statement right here, the incident occurred at 9/12/19. This tweet that Onision himself had made was made on the 19th. 7 days after the incident. So James says, stand in front of the window over there. The world should see how pathetic and helpless you are. I'm going to humiliate you, and right before you lose consciousness, I'm going to destroy you. And if you think I'm making this up, I want you guys to take a look. Now, you can't really see it like that. Let me try to move it down here so maybe you can see it. Takes a moment, but apologies. Damn it. Line up, damn it. Shit. So I kind of find it odd that there's a tweet similar to an incident like that, which was 7 days after the fact, after a case like that had happened. I find it I find this so miraculously weird. And thank you for, by the way, Professor Winter. She also sent me a photo. Let's see. Are you implying that he is living what he writes? It's a possibility. I mean, that seems a little bit too far-fetched and too accurate after the fact, too. So that's the image of the second story, which is on the left side, though. But the right side, because the driveway is on the right side, so that means the rocky area is on the right. So this area right here is on the left. Hallway by the kitchen is to the bedroom. I think. Whoa, wait a minute. That brings me to my next thought. Because if the kitchen is right there, if the kitchen, take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. The kitchen, this, okay, so it's backwards, by the way. It's actually, the kitchen is actually facing the opposite direction. It's not facing this way, it's facing the other way. It's actually on this side. So if I were to actually like, never mind. So this is the opposite view. So this isn't the accurate view because the camera, it's actually the opposite. But still, notice how the kitchen is right there. The room is down the hall there. If the window itself is open, how did Kai not hear any of that? How did Kai not hear anything? Like if there was no report of a scream or any sounds like that. How was there no report of any scream if the window itself was open? If the bedroom window was open and the bedroom door was open, how come nobody else heard it? Nobody else heard it. That's for Laney. How? This is the interior of the bedroom. All right, CT, I'll catch you later, all right? Now, this may have been, this is obviously way before the furniture was in there, but like this is pretty much the view of the window. There we go. That's much better. Unless they had loud music on. Okay, I mean, they had a TV on and they actually had a show. But you would think, though. Is that, by the way, Professor, is there one more image? Is there at least one more image of the interior of that room? Because I need to definitely submit these to Stevie. As a matter of fact, I'll send these to Stevie and then see what he makes of it. What the fuck? Like an angle from the. Hold on. Is there okay? Is there one from the garage, and then is there one from the angle of the from the opposite angle of the bedroom that's above the window? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pictures of these. I'm going to send these to Stevie. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take a picture of this. There we go. And then I'm going to send it to him. Okay, I just sent it to him, so. Okay, it's okay, but What am I doing lately? I might read some more of my story because I want to really get back into that because I got all the corrections of it done. I just need to get it printed out, but I might as well just read from what I already have printed. So that's something I'm really coming too close to on that too. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, there's another one. Okay. That's the master bedroom. Okay, cool. So that's the view. Okay, so that's the view of the master bedroom. So basically the door would be facing this way. Window would be facing around the corner from the door. Now, unless that TV was blasting, this is something I think they should have added into the report at least, or should have asked the question to Greg or to Laney. How loud was the TV at the time of this situation? That's something I think they forgot to ask the question on. How loud was the TV? Gotcha. I think Stevie might have just put the file name on the Onision Exception will be disclosed today. Now that we have proof of severe child neglect and endangering the welfare of child. Fuck. Probably busy. Actually, what was Greg doing in the garage to begin with, too? And like, I know, quote unquote, he was working, but what was he working on? Let's see. Okay, so there's the back porch. Yeah, so there's the back porch from the kitchen right there. And from this angle here, the master bedroom doesn't appear to be far from the kitchen. So that's fucking weird. So unless that TV was skyrocketing with like loud music and loud audio, they should have been able to hear something. Okay, here's an okay. This is actually an angle right here. I actually like this one right here. Thank you, by the way, Professor Winter. I actually like this particular angle right here because this is one I could definitely send to Stevie. I'm gonna send that one to him. Oh, thank you, by the way. Knuckles plushie. As a matter of fact, since I'm kind of calmed down a bit, I'm gonna actually, how much battery power do I have on here? Okay, I got 100%. So I can actually kind of walk you guys around while we're waiting on this to go. So I kind of got my room a little bit more organized and cleaned up. Sorry, kind of accidentally hit something. There we go. What do I have here? Okay, so basically, this is basically my studio. I got to get a new chair. I'm going to be building a PC soon. There's pretty much what I'm going to be starting on. I got the graphics card. I got to get the CPU. I got to get the RAM. I've got to get pretty much the SSD stuff all set up. But once I get all that, it's pretty much going to be different because I'll be doing some different level of streaming than the typical laptop stuff. So that's where I'm going to be working on. So I got like an H700i computer case, a Red Devil graphics card. So that too is out of the way. I got myself a keyboard. I'm still going to use the Logitech webcam and lighting around as we do. But once I get that set up and get a monitor, I'm going to do a little bit of a change up. Let's see. Ooh, actually, wait a minute. Something I may want to see. That's actually interesting. Wait a minute. Okay, so that's his studio. So Greg's studio is down below, right next to the garage. Right. He was in the garage at that time. Hold on. Wait a minute. Something in this report does not add up. It doesn't add up. Let me go back and read a particular part again, because I want to share with you guys again one particular thing that kind of like gave me some red alert vibes. So if I go back to this report, let's read off again. Let's see. Climb from the window and still from the headboard. All right, I'll look at that particular image just in case. Give me one moment and I'll do that. The corner. He said that there was a window screen partially underneath. It's broken in the corner. Her tapping outside the garage door. No, I'm looking for the part where it said the rocky sideway. That's the part I need to definitely read, because something about that does not make sense. Jane said he wanted to go to show the doctor exactly where he had fallen. Oh, she had fallen, sorry. And expressed the concern that she had hit the landscaping rocks, which were right next to the driveway. Wait a minute. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you something here. She had hit the rocks next to the landscaping driveway. Let me hold this up. All right, so see if you can take, okay, so see that right there, actually. So see where the cursor of my mouse, actually, I don't think you can see the cursor of my mouse, my apologies, but right about there. So the stone's right there above. That's basically where the rocks are. Hold on, easy. All of those rocks. So this red and this pretty much grayish area, these are rocks. The angle of that window, that doesn't make sense. How was the child on top of the rocks if the window of the angle was like that? Unless the kid had jumped out from such a height. Give me one second. But that doesn't make sense. Come on. I want little sneakers. And we gotta go eat anything. So, if I were to climb out of a window, so for that to happen, that child would have had to have jumped out of that window at a certain degree, at certain altitude, and at a certain speed to land on those rocks. The problem is, though, that the rocks are all the way to the right of the paveway, to where the concrete of the driveway is. How could the child be on the rocks if the paveway is so fucking wide? Now, again, I need to verify this. How old is this child, by the way? Is this child about like 4, 5, 3, 2? I don't know. Look at the fifth picture from the bottom of the opposite angle. Okay. I will take a look at that. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of that because that may come in handy. Fifth from the bottom pick. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, there's rocks on this side here, too. Oh, shit. Well, wait a minute. Okay, I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking at that photo right now. So let me pull this one up, so that way you guys can see it. So this is the other angle that I was basically given from that house. Now it's backwards, I know. But here's the thing. So there's this right here. It's on the opposite. Sorry, it's on the opposite end. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the master bedroom on this side at the very end? And that's the guest. I mean, it could be the guest, or you could just say it's a regular bedroom, but what he made on 9/12/19. I will definitely take a look at that as well. So unless they're talking about this angle here to this angle here, that would make sense. So let me go back to that report again and pull something up. It was in the living room. Okay. Lieutenant Johnson said that the blank was on the cement driveway directly underneath an open window laying on her side. He said that there was a window screen partially underneath blank that was broken in the corner. Lieutenant Johnson said that the fall was not witnessed and that he had told Kai was in the kitchen making dinner. Was on the pavement. Master faces the water. Okay. So yeah, at the end is the 2-year-old room. Okay, cool. So because the angle of the room just seems a little bit bigger from what I'm looking at here. Okay, so I see what you mean. So the kids' room is supposed to be over on that side, and then the master is supposed to be closer to that one on that side. I see what you mean. Okay. So it's still a little bit of a mixer here because from the investigation, the child was on the paveway, but they said they found the child on the rocks. Something about that does not make sense. It's one story being told from another perspective, but it's another story being told from another perspective. It's weird. Okay. So it's on that side. All right. And then there's the back of the house. Wow. Okay, so from what I've gathered, the angles of this house seem to match, but the story doesn't seem to match because I've got Greg and Kai saying that their child was on the rocky area of the next to the payway. Let's see. Hold on. Pull that back up. It was right down here. Okay, so from the lieutenant, he said that the child was on the cement driveway. Yes, so I got that part. That was from the lieutenant's perspective. Greg's perspective, I want to see. Let's see. James said he had went out the front door and saw laying on the driveway. Okay, well, from right here, I'm reading. Yeah, so laying on the driveway near the garage. So that part I heard, but there was another line right up here. Okay, it's got to be up here then. So sorry guys if I'm like pausing and stuff like here. I'm trying to find that specific line. So sorry. With concerns that James ran a YouTube channel. Yada yada yada. Spoke to that. Open. Lieutenant Johnson said that James had heard tapping on the outside of the garage door. I spoke privately with Kai, agreed to that. From the headboard, she did not fall on this room. She said from outside. Waited till the ambulance got there. Described very active in the past. She has climbed and stood on top of tables. So I'm trying to look for that. There's that specific line that I read that was about a few moments ago. If I can find that line, I can continue on. Okay, yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Okay. So Professor Warner, yeah, you're right. The only thing that makes this a little bit more of a mix here was the concern that she was hitting landscaping rocks, which were right next to the driveway. I think that was the only thing. Right next to the driveway. He also said, I thought about needing to show the police what had happened. See, I think that is actually, I think that is where the confusion is laying the most, because it's going right into the part where he's also expressing the part that he had to show something about an incident that happened in 2011 when a friend of his or an ex-friend of his threatened to kill herself in that situation. I think that's pretty much where the confusion is going in. But it still doesn't stray from the fact of the matter is that how do you leave your children unattended? And again, like, how old was this child at the time? Let's see, 2 years old? What? Two years old. At how far height? We're talking 20 feet here. 2 years old from 20 feet. Fuck. 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 I got no words to say anything anymore. This is fucked. And hemorrhaging, Jesus. I mean, Lord, forgive me, but like, oh my gosh. You'd figure with all of this crap. I mean, the fact that he's already under investigation. Oh my gosh. And now it's going to get worse, because you know what happened today when I was at work? Because I was showed a screenshot of Greg himself taking a selfie at the hospital with his wife, and then his child, like, partially shown in the background of him taking a selfie in the hospital. Like, oh my gosh, that better not be the fucking image from that day. I swear if it is, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Dude, I'm gonna lose my shit if that is. And she was only a baby. All right, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna investigate this right now. Just holy fucking hell. All right. Oh, Hopefully he does. I've got to look into this now. Jeez. So there may have been two things where I lashed out, which I probably didn't read too carefully, but at the same time that the sentence itself did not seem fluently and the context did not seem completely clear at that time. Still, nonetheless, I probably should have at least examined that a little bit closer, though. So, wow, even Chris Hansen pretty much brought it up. Shit. So if I go here, oh my gosh, this better not be it. No, I don't. It's not on here, but I did see something this morning. Oh my gosh. Sorry, like my veins are just like popping right now. Well, it's not. See, the thing that really pisses me off the most about that, by the way, rhythm or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the full context of that, but it's quite odd and mysterious that he makes tweet posts very similar to that incident 7 days after the fact. That's the shit that's really pissing me off. So it's weird that fucking shit happens. So the shot fell nearly 12 foot, almost, yeah. So nearly over 12 feet from a 20-foot house. Not particularly for the top part of the house, but like if you're counting from the windows, so it's most likely going to be like 11 or 12 feet prior from then. Should take me like a full second. Yeah, if there's like multiple copies on Twitter, you can also get those from there. Or if you want to go to Stevie's video and pull up the copy from there, you can do that too. All right, so I'm going to do this. Wow, he deleted all of his posts from, except from these, but he didn't. He deleted almost everything else after. What the fuck? So, what do you guys think about this? Because I want to know who had that photo of him taking that selfie at the hospital. Oh, there's an abuse timeline document that I didn't really download. Holy crap. Oh, it pretty much had everything I could actually just talk about right there. Oh my gosh. So, oh my gosh. It's too soon for that. Where was that photo though? Hold on. Investigation. Wait. Check this. Okay, so there is an official police report. There's actually a documentation. There is a screen cap of that on Twitter if you want to take that. As a matter of fact, I will actually tweet that as well. Actually, no, I don't have to tweet. It's pretty much already out there. So I'll just take that. But I know someone who might actually have it. Hold on. Sorry, I'm boring you guys to death. Bear with me here. Apologize. Hmm. Six hours ago. Okay, so we still actually have. Sorry. It's not. See, okay, there was a photo that I was looking for that had that. Doesn't appear to be there. Shit. Other than that, that's pretty much all I just wanted to cover. It's nuts, weird, and holy hell. I just can't grasp it. I could at least say, yeah, I can at least agree to some extent that maybe Kai or Laney to some degree has some instinct, but that still doesn't excuse for all that other shit that she's pulled. It's stupid. And her family. Her family is another thing. Sorry, and I forgot to mention this. Steve, you already brought it up, but I might as well just say it's like, how in the hell did her family not put their foot down through all this? I mean, through everything. Everything. Seems anyone else with a logical brain besides her fucking family tried to warn her about everything, and guess what? This is what it all led to. Fuckity hell. I'm just gonna say, if I find that screenshot of Greg taking that selfie at childcare while he's in that medical room, I'm gonna flip my shit. But yeah, I agree with you there. It's fucking disgusting. Oh my gosh. Actually, you know what? I got another idea. We're gonna do this. So we're gonna go to photos. That's probably where I'm gonna find it. Oh yeah, that was another thing I forgot to put on the damn list. He even went as far as to actually dress in a fucking baby diaper to make a video. I forgot to put that to the list. Wow. Even refused to change some kid's underwear that soiled themselves because, I don't know, he's a fucking idiot. All right, well, I'm not seeing it, so. But I sure as shit know I saw it this morning. But then again, all these posts are like 28 minutes, so I'm kind of like looking through. Pregnancy fetish. Oh my gosh. To point out he destroyed some of his kids' toys in the same video where he's. Yeah, I don't know why he would. Yeah. That's fucked up still. Oh, wow. Actually, that was something that didn't occur to me. Turns out some of these posts that he made were actually sexual after that fact, too, by the way. Yep. That's a little bit more of a... What's the word I'm looking for? Fucked up. So, yeah, some of those posts that I were telling you about also were sexual in nature. So, yeah. There's something about Greg about terrorist in Manchester, UK. I can't remember what it was. When did he say something about that, by the way? It was something I would look into. That's something like I myself would be looking into. I just need to know. But apart from losing his Patreon, apart from losing his Twitch and shit, I would imagine you'd be losing his fucking mind. Okay, see, that was my exception rant that I just went past. Okay, so it's gotta be around here somewhere now. Whoa. What? One sec. Newsflash: the media has Western bias in Western countries. Yeah, I would not trust anything the media says. Fuck the media, especially TMZ scumbags. Hold on. Ooh. Oh wow, posting dates like between the facts. Okay, so event 22, 35, 45. So I imagine that's the hour, that's the minute, and that's the second. So 22, 35, 45, which is pretty much way past midnight. Checked on friend Jackson Kind, yada yada yada. Posting odd things on Twitter about being violent, sexual in nature, wanting to hurt him. Never responded. That's interesting, but not what I'm looking for. So it's pretty much just post about the whole house over and over again. Found the Manchester tweet on Reddit. Check your Twitter. I sent it to you via link. Okay, I will definitely do that. Coming right up. Okay, I just got the notification. Onision says Manchester bombing to reach peak edginess. This was over 2 years ago. I did not know about this, so I'm gonna probably read it. Simple Google search for said about the Manchester only honest to mourn all the non-natural deaths. I'm sorry. Okay. So he says, and if I do get pissed, forgive me. If you actually pay attention to my tweets, the facts are pretty hard to deny at this point. You are living a delusion. Your compassion is selective, and you pretend you are a hero while ignoring the countless people who die in similar and even worse ways in the Middle East on a daily basis. I know this is 2 years ago, but why the fuck are we comparing incidences and tragedies as one is higher than the other in one country over another. Why? You are not heroes. You are not bleeding hearts. You are simply frauds coming from the guy who got kicked out of the fucking military because he refused to kill an animal. You tweet about what is trending not because you care. This is coming from the same fucking guy that actually was tweeting constantly about Eugenia Cooney. Wow. Guy who can't even take care of his fucking kid wants to preach to you about pretty much, you know, that we don't have a true heart. Guy can't even take care of his fucking kid. Let's see. Because you're an attention whore who just wants retweets and love for pretending you give a shit. Again, the whole Eugenia Cooney thing kind of throws the whole argument out the window. Western bias, Western media. Yeah. Let's see. Reality check. If you cared, you would tweet about the many bombings that kill many children, many women, and other innocent people on a regular basis in the Middle East. Wow. But you do not tweet about those things. Those people are not white. Primarily white people dying in a bombing. Not that you'll get your retweets, but another bombing in Syria or Afghanistan, you're completely silent about the issue. Greg, go fuck yourself. I mean, again, I know this is 2 years ago, but what the fuck? You are a fucking fraud. You are not a good person, and you pretend to be, and you should all be ashamed of yourself for requiring me to point out how stupid you are being. Even worse, the people stuck in denial, who even after reading this will be self-righteous, still pretend they care, while not even bothering to look up hundreds, if not thousands of people who have died from bombings in the Middle East. This is, oh my gosh, it's like him going off on politics, just being so fucking political the very first moment he knows about a situation that happened over 2 years ago. That he's all high and mighty and shit. What a fucking douche. Gotcha. But yeah. It's a shitty thing. Shit happens, yes, but that doesn't mean that you need to make people feel like shit because something happens and some people describe it in a different way and it doesn't match to your own. Fuck. Jeez. Kurt Cobain would. Oh yeah, no, Kurt Cobain would definitely hate Greg. Holy crap. And you want to know the thing here about Kurt Cobain? Kurt Cobain was a fucking better father. He was a million times of a better fucking father. Holy shit. So what's Greg gonna try to do now? He's gonna try to impersonate Kurt Cobain, and then out of theory here, is he gonna try to commit suicide like Kurt Cobain? And like again, I'm using quotations right there because, in my own opinion, I don't think Kurt Cobain was under suicidal death. I think it was more of a murder, in my own opinion. Let's see. He also shout out people sending thoughts and prayers. Okay, see, that was the one. Okay, I remember that particular tweet because that was sent to me during the dramatic reading from Atticus the Death Mailer. I actually did a reading on that. Thoughts and prayers. That's the one I gave the huge middle finger to him for. Let's see. Lost their loved ones in a church, so those prayers should mean something. Because, okay, and here's the thing about this, and I don't want to like drag religion much more into it, but prayers don't automatically mean that something miraculous comes out of it. You know, prayer can sometimes, and just from my own perspective, what I'm just saying is that it leads to people coming to a course of action to do something to make the world a better place. It doesn't always need miraculous things to just magically happen, you know? And I think that's what people mistake that sort of thing about how thoughts and prayers don't really do anything. Well, again, you know, there's there's thoughts and prayers too, but there's also the prayer that kind of leads to, maybe in that sense, kind of a miraculous point of where people start actually coming towards and making an action. Unlike Greg here, he wants to just torment, psychologically manipulate, and pretty much abuse everyone that he comes in contact with. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I totally get you right there. All right, guys. So here's what I'm going to do. Because being that I found out about Ray Burton, he passed away, I'm going to actually play one song before we end off the stream. I think we've got everything we needed to cover. I'm just glad I'm able to stream again. I had to take a break for a few. I had some things I had to, go kind of just get past and try to get over with. But I think I'm getting a little bit better from that. All right. So we're going to play one song. Now that I'm done talking about Greg, no more. I don't even care anymore. I don't care if he even committed a murder. I'll leave that to Stevie. I'll leave that to anybody else. I don't care. Leave that to anyone who wants to talk about it. Not judging you for it. This is Metallica, To Live Is To Die. We're going to end it off here, and I'm just going to say this is for you, Ray Burton. Thank you for being a loving dad to Cliff Burton, the bassist of Metallica. Since you've lived 94 years, and you raised a hell of a son. This is for you. That's for you, Cliff. And that's also for your dad too, Ray. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know, man. We still got a few minutes left. We still have about 8-something minutes left before we end off the stream. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I feel like it's fair. And then next stream, I will actually continue off where I read from the story. If you guys want to be there, we'll continue off from there, and we'll try this because I'm going to be trying to do my second installation for that story. I'm doing pretty well, Professor Winter. Like I said, I'm doing a second installation for the story. I'm going to read off from where I got there. Thinking about doing more Hangout streams. I was going to do one for New Year's, but unfortunately that one kind of got a bit of a change. So. Oh, shit. What do you think of the sweet experimental Ghost? I've heard a bit of Ghost before. I haven't heard as much, but I've heard some from my friends. I mean, I know there was a fallout between the lead singer and his bandmates at that time, but I've heard a bit of some Ghost stuff. That's pretty good. Dogs are barking. One of your favorite bands? All right, man. That's pretty good. Yes, I have. Thank you. I think because you mentioned Kaius before about a few streams back, and you told me to give him a try, which I did. Hold on. I'm going to get rid of Twitter. Oh, thank you for the message. Thank you. Let's type something real quick. Also, I'm not really sure if you heard me, but yes, I did listen to Chaos. I think the one that they had was their Welcome to the Sky. It was like 1994, I believe. Hell yeah. All right, so got 2 minutes left before we start ending off. All right. And that's pretty much the end of the song right there. That's the song I want played at my funeral one day. So, alrighty, guys, I'm going to end it off here. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. I understand that I kind of have some pauses in between, so we'll try to get that improved. I want to thank every one of you guys for coming out. Lemmy, Professor Winter, Todd Lynch, Chelsea, Christian Peck. We had so much others. Also, we had, let's see, we had Alyssa. We had Choo Choo. Yeah, I said Alyssa. We had Rhythm that came in too as well. I said Lemmy. So we had that. We had Karen. Thank you. Thank you, CT. Let's see. Was there anyone else? Francisco, yes, thank you for coming out as well, man. Beagle Girl 19, thank you for coming as well. Jazzy, thank you as well. All right, that should be everyone, I believe so. I want to thank you guys for coming out. It's been a blast having you guys with me, man. So you guys have a wonderful night, man. Peace be with you.